everybody, it's Stacie Duffy here, your Denver Metro real estate resource, and today I wanted to talk about inspections. What type of inspections there are, which ones you should do, which ones you may not want to do, and this is totally going to differ by state, by type of property, by age of property, by location, all different kinds of stuff. But as a general rule, I want to hit the typical inspections that I suggest to my clients here in the Denver Metro area. So I'm going to kick it off. First one is just a general home inspection. Okay, that's what most people, when they think inspection, that's what they think. Someone coming in, taking a look around the house, checking, okay, do the appliances work? Does the structure look relatively sound? Are there any major concerns there? Does the roof look good? Do the window, are the windows broken? Is there signs of previous water damage? Is the sink leaking? Is the toilet leaking? All that kind of stuff. So general home inspection, always a good idea unless you are a general contractor or you trust yourself. It's your choice. You don't have to do one, but I always strongly suggest one. If you're going to be spending, $200 to $1 million plus $1,000 or whatever on a home, it's probably worth $500. Sometimes got $200 on condos, things like that. It's worth that to understand what you're buying. So it's kind of like buying a used car and you take it to your mechanic and pay them $100 to check it out, that type of thing. So that's always a good idea. The other not always required but often suggested inspections here that in the Denver Metro is going to be radon. So a lot of people are not familiar with radon, especially if you're coming from other areas, because it's geographically dependent. But essentially radon is a colorless, odorless gas. It's a carcinogen that emits from the ground. So it is more dense than air, so it's more dense than oxygen, nitrogen, everything else. It tends to settle in basements for the most part. Since we have basements here, most people do in the Denver area, and if that is an issue, then you can actually get a higher concentration of radon, which can be an issue, a health issue and a safety issue. So it is a good idea to have that tested. There are test kits on Amazon that you can buy yourself. A lot of times in your inspection window, in your contract period, you may not have time to do that. A lot of your inspectors will offer that as an option and an add-on that you can do as well. But anyway, it's your choice, but I would suggest having it done. Not saying it would make or break whether or not you buy the house. It's a cheap problem to fix, relatively cheap, less than a couple grand if you want to install a radon mitigation system. So it's not the end of the world if it does come back high, but just something to be aware of. So that's two. I'm going to check my list, make sure I don't forget anything. Sewer scope. So especially on older homes or homes with mature trees in the front yard, this is an important thing to think about because you have a sewer line that runs from, your plumbing system in your house out to a city main sewer. If you're in the burbs or something like that, I'll talk about septic in a minute, which is a different issue. But that sewer line you are responsible for in a single family detached house or in condos or townhomes. Sometimes you're responsible for your section of the run into the main assembly. Sometimes you're not. Check with your HOA and your realtor on that. But it is an expensive problem to fix because the further down or further up you have to go to fix something, either in the air or underground, the more it's going to cost. So it's worth $150, $200 to have someone run a camera through that and see, oh, there's a break in the line. That's probably why the basement has, the sewer's backed up and flooded or something in the past. And oh, by the way, it's going to cost $15,000 to fix, and we have to rip up the driveway and pour a new one. So it's worth the money. Know what you're buying. Consider doing a sewer scope, especially if it's an older home or you have mature trees in the front yard. But either way, good thing to have checked out. Well and septic. So if you are buying a property that has a well, you should have a well test done to make sure that you have flow rates that will be adequate for the number of people living in your house and the number of bathrooms, to make sure that your water quality is sufficient, to make sure that the depth of your well is going to be sufficient for what you need, all that kind of stuff. And then also a septic inspection, because you don't want to buy something with a broken leach field or connection between the septic tank and the leach field, or the septic tank needs to be pumped. There are some states that actually require that is cleaned and inspected prior to transfer of sale. So definitely talk to your realtor about that. I'm going to talk a neighborhood inspection next, because I think that is something a lot of people don't think about, and it's something that no one else can do for you. I mean, I guess you could hire someone to go stock the neighborhood for you, but their priorities and what's important to them may be different. So I always suggest to my buyers, stock the neighborhood. if that's a place that you are going to purchase and live in for an extended period of time, you probably want to know what the neighborhood is like. And just because you drove through it on a Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the summertime, and there were, kids playing basketball in the court and all that kind of stuff, or in the cul-de-sac, and that was the picturesque feel of a neighborhood that you had, that may not be the case all the time. So the neighbor's dog may bark at midnight through the night all the time. There may be a house that's right across the street that always has cars parked outside in the evenings, but not during the day when everyone's at work. All that kind of stuff. So, and there may be, people that have loud kids, dogs, music hobbies, car hobbies, whatever, that you wouldn't feel comfortable with. And once you buy it, that's kind of it. So, and those, a lot of those things are not something that is required to be disclosed by the current owners because it's not, a material defect or whatever you want to call it to the property. So stalk the neighborhood. Check it out in the, Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Check it out Thursday evening when everyone's home from work. Check it out Friday night, Saturday night to see who's having parties. If you want, check it out on holidays, and this is more in a good way, but you can see, one, how many people have their family come to visit for the holidays. So is it a neighborhood people like to have people come to and all that kind of stuff. Also, does the neighborhood have little festivals for the holidays? Do they have a 4th of July parade or a Halloween festival or an Easter egg hunt? All that kind of stuff, the fun stuff. So anyway, stalk the neighborhood. That neighborhood inspection is your responsibility. But check it out, all different times of day, different days of the week, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's just a few of the main inspection types. There's a few others. I mean, if you need structural inspections, mold inspections, air quality testing, there's a lot of other things that depending on your needs may play into it, but those are just the most common ones here in the Denver area. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them down below. Also, you can reach out to me directly. My contact information is on my website, and the link for that is down below as well. So if you're liking my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it, and y'all have a great day.